Support for this program is provided in part by Guido's Fresh Marketplace. Welcome to The Natural Cook. I'm Anna Gershenson. As nature is bringing its gift of warmth and sunshine, I'm going to offer you today a gift of two delightful dishes that come from the cookbook, The Naturally Nourished by Sarah Britton, that I discovered recently. And they will keep you satisfied in terms of its taste and also nourishment. One of them is baked feta, and I'm going to prepare it right in front of you. And it will have different vegetables together with olives that are going to be baked together with it. And another is a cool noodle salad that is also refreshing and delicious. So first, we need a baking dish that will fit 7 ounces of good quality feta. I chose sheep's feta. You can choose goat and sheep's or just goat's feta, which is preferable. And then we are going to have about a cup of cherry tomatoes. So I have here many different colors, and I'm going to cut them into smaller pieces. So we are going, if we cut them, say, like into quarters, I think this will be a good size for sprinkling and baking. And cherry tomatoes are one of these vegetables, so it's basically a fruit that is best to buy organic. And another vegetable that will go on top of it is red pepper. And we are going to cut it into the same pieces. And unfortunately, red peppers are also in that category that need to be purchased organic if you care about the amount of pesticides that you can control that go into your body. So everything will be mixed in a bowl, and then we'll top it and bake it at 400 degrees. So the oven is already preheated to 400 degrees. And we will put our vegetables here. And now half of red pepper. We will definitely take out the ribs and the seeds and then just chop it up. Okay, and of course with peppers, as you know, like with any vegetable, the brighter the color, the more nutrition this vegetable fruit offers you. So red is a great color to go with. So we will just cut it into first strips and then go across and cut it into smaller pieces. And it doesn't have to be anything even or it's not really intense preparation, as you can see. Very, very simple and easy. And with Kalamata olives, if you buy pitted Kalamata olives, then you don't have to take the pit out naturally. Here, the ones with pit actually probably offer you more flavor. So to take the pit out, you just press it or hit it, and the pit will come out very easily. You just pull it out just like that. So you will need about half a cup of olives, and then they will be tossed together with some oregano. Clearly, we're talking about Mediterranean Greek flavors here. And nothing is more delicious than wonderful Greek feta. You can sprinkle it in the summer on salads, or whatever, whatever dish you are making that has vegetables in it, already prepared vegetables. Even if you are making, something with broccoli, also delicious combination. Okay, so we'll just chop it up. One more is hiding. Okay. All right. And then once the feta is in the oven, we will need like 25 to 30 minutes, and you don't have to do anything about it. Just let it bake. And in the meantime, while it's baking, we are going to work with our salad. So let's toss it together with our oregano, 2 teaspoons here, just a little bit of salt and pepper. All right, toss together and cover and place it in the oven. It's that simple. Okay. I'm putting it on a baking sheet that I already preheated in the oven, and then we'll wait what happens. Okay. All right. Now that this is cooking, we are going to proceed with our next dish, our cool noodle salad. And I used whole wheat pasta for it, and I recommend that you use whole wheat pasta whenever you can. I used whole wheat capellini that I cooked in good amount of intensely salted hot water, and then when it's already al dente, all you do is just throw in a cup of peas, whether fresh or frozen, and then you put it into a colander and douse it with cold water to cool it, and that's it. And you can also use, if you don't want to have, like a pronounced flavor of whole wheat, there is wonderful pasta that is like udon made from brown rice flour, which is milder, and you might want to use it, and it also cooks very, very quickly. And now we will go to the dressing that will go into our salad, and the dressing will be made with tahini, and you can put either coconut aminos if you don't use tamari, or you can use tamari in it, maple syrup, grated ginger, also lime juice. So let's start with our lime. Actually with our ginger, in order to peel ginger, and of course if ginger is not organic, that's what you want to do. So spoon is actually the best implement for that. You just scrape, and it easily comes off the peel, as you can see. And then this is a very convenient, also my little grater. Microplane grater probably is too fine for that, but this grater is also sort of microplane, but has a little bigger holes. And we will need 2 tablespoons of grated ginger. And I absolutely love ginger. Like, for example, in the winter, which finally is over, and if I feel that I'm catching a cold, and of course it can happen to you in the summer as well, what I do is I would grate the ginger and put it into a cup, and then pour hot boiling water into it and cover it and let it sit, and then I will strain it and add some cayenne and lemon juice. And this is an excellent drink for you to have in the morning or any time of day to ward off that cold, to really stop it in tracks from coming and afflicting you. Okay, so this ginger is very fresh. You can see it's really nice and juicy. All right, so this is about 2 tablespoons. We can always taste and add more if we need to. So we will put that ginger into our little processor, or you can use a blender if you have like a smaller blender. Let's wipe it here. Okay, and then we also will use half a cup of tahini. And tahini is, of course, sauce made with ground sesame seeds, which are very nutritious, have a lot of calcium, so it's good for your bones. And when you open a new jar, you want to stir it to make sure that the oil is mixed in with this paste, which usually separates. And also, I would recommend that you find tahini that is made in the Middle East, because it has a very different texture and flavor. And so I think that you will really, you will really enjoy the flavor that it has to offer. So half a cup will go into our little food processor. All right. Okay. Half a cup of tahini, and then we will add 2 tablespoons of either tamari, or I'm adding coconut aminos. And then you will add about 1.5 teaspoons of maple syrup or honey. And then you will add also about a tablespoon of lime juice. You can add more if you feel that it's not sufficiently pungent or doesn't give you, good flavor. So let's process it. All right. And of course, I have to taste. Okay, so I would add a little bit of salt, because I know that once you add all the ingredients, if it's not seasoned enough, then you are not really going to taste all the good stuff that's there in terms of its flavor. It won't come through. Okay, and I'll add just a little more of the juice. So our dressing is ready. See how fast it is? And our pasta is cooked, so that's a no-brainer. And now we are going to proceed with cutting vegetables for this wonderful salad. So the vegetables that you'll need there, and of course you can put all kinds of vegetables. Like there is really, you don't have to do just, peas. And if you have fresh peas that come in pea pods and you want to use these nice, fresh pea pods, you can do them as well. Or you can use sugar snaps, or you can use snow peas, anything that is like in this green family. There are 2 medium carrots that are going to be julienned. And again, I'll show you how I do it. First, of course, you peel your carrots, and then you slice them thinly on a bias, so that then you can stack these slices and cut them into julienne pieces. And you can have them, as short or as long as you want to. If you want shorter sticks of carrots, then you cut them, you adjust the bias, your angle will be different. As you can see, I chose bigger angle so I will have longer slices. But then again, as you are cutting it here into julienne, you also can adjust your angle and make them as thin or as short or as long as you want. So once I did that, I flatten out my carrots a little bit, and then I kind of pin them down, and then I start cutting into, let's move this, not to be in the way, kind of into, thin pieces. And of course, a nice sharp knife is always your best friend in the kitchen, and make sure that it's sharp and also that you hone it before you start using it. After every use or before every use, you want to make sure that you hone your knife, because that's what makes it really, really sharp. Okay, so now that we are going to have farmers markets opening soon, I'm very excited because the farmers market in our city of Pittsfield is opening, and I'm happy to meet the farmers. I hope that you will come, and also wherever you are, that you will patronize the farmers market, because this is where you get the best nutrition. Everything that was grown is local and is not being transported. And of course, the sooner you consume your produce after it's harvested, the more nutrients it has. So it's in your best interest to really invest in yourself during growing season. You know, we are not fortunate like in some other parts of the country where growing season is really, really long. Here we catch it and enjoy it when it happens. Okay. So as you see, there will be some crunchy stuff in your salad, and then there will be some like soft stuff like your noodles, which of course still have texture in it. You want to make sure that you are cooking it al dente to the bite, so that it's not, you know, overcooked and doesn't become mushy. All right, so this is ready. And you know, the way that I like mixing my salads, as I told you before, I like doing it on a baking sheet. So let's clean up here a little bit so that we are not inundated with all unnecessary dishes. Okay, so we will put our baking sheet here, and I will already place my cooked noodles. And you see, this is 9 ounces of pasta. And when you open the box and you look at the 9 ounces of pasta, you really don't see a lot. But once pasta gets cooked, it expands. And so it gives you really a good amount. And also with vegetables, it will be really very, very nice salad. And good quantity, so you can feed a crowd. Okay, so our carrots will go on top. Okay. Chop, chop, chop. And then radishes. And radishes are also nice and crunchy and nutritious, and offer you again a very different color. So the more colors and the more different vegetables you can incorporate into your diet, the better off you are. So here you have like a small bunch of radishes. In order to make it faster for slicing, I cut it in half, and then I just go and cut it thinly, because when you have this white base, then it's more convenient for you to hold your radish instead of having a round radish that you have to hold on to. Okay, all right, and you can cut it the long way or the short way, whichever suits your fancy. Radishes are actually a kind of crop that you can cultivate and harvest many times through growing season. So it's a wonderful crop to have and to enjoy. I know that people don't really eat enough radishes, and I hope that you can have it like just as a plain snack. have it with you in a baggie together with, you know, your celery, and offer also to your children. My grandson loves radishes. You know, some of them, of course, sometimes are kind of on the hot side, but some are milder. Okay, all right. So I will also add scallions, and I will add cilantro to this salad. Okay. And then we'll just mix it with the dressing, and the salad will be ready. Another thing that you have to prepare to serve with your baked feta is either crackers, or you want to take some nice sourdough bread and make either bruschetta out of it or crostini. I already prepared it. This is what I did in advance. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, done. So now we will put our scallions. Let me check quickly how feta is doing there. Oh, I can smell all these wonderful smells coming from the vegetables as they are baking. Okay, now scallions. And there are different, you know, there are different herbs that you can always add to the salads. And herbs offer wonderful benefits to your health. Every herb has its own benefits. Like cilantro that we are adding is really, really very, very cleansing. It helps you get rid of heavy metals. And so this is a wonderful herb that I recommend highly to include. I always include it into many different things. Like I've just picked some ramps because ramps are in season, and in using this little food processor, I threw in a good, you know, handful of parsley and ramps and cilantro and scallions, and then I added some lemon juice and a little salt, and if you want to, you can always add jalapeno if you want something spicy. Whisk them together to have a paste, and then add like good, you know, half a cup of olive oil, and you have wonderful green sauce that will last in your refrigerator for a good 5 days. And you can add it to your soups, or you can mix it into your salads like grain or bean salads. So make sure that you take advantage of using herbs and using really good quantity of it. So with cilantro, we use, this will be like a third of a cup of packed third of a cup. And with cilantro, the leaves and the stems are all edible, meaning not just edible, but they should be included when you are cooking with them or when you are eating them, because they are flavorful and they are gentle. Their texture is gentle. So we'll chop that. Okay. And another thing that I want to show you that you can sprinkle on the salad is to make the sesame salt. So we will toast some sesame seeds, and then you can either whisk them in the food processor, or you can use mortar and pestle, and then you can sprinkle it on the salad, or you know, on many other things. So sesame seeds are good for you, and they also offer good flavor. Just watch to make sure that when you are cooking them, that you do not burn them. All right, so now this is ready to be tossed. So we'll distribute it nicely, And let's add our sesame seeds. So half a cup of sesame seeds, and then you will combine it with about 1.5 teaspoons of fine sea salt. And here we will put our dressing and toss it nicely. And of course, I'll use my hands because it's the best tool, even though it gets really, really messy. So to distribute everything properly, and doing it on a baking sheet is really a wonderful idea, because then you can just toss everything and distribute. I don't know how I'm going to be now dealing with a pan where I have to toss sesame seeds too. But I guess, yes, we'll have to do that. So I see that this dressing is very thick, so I think that you can add some water to it to thin it out so that it would be easier for you to just toss it together to make it a thinner dressing, to incorporate everything. But as you can see, this is really a lovely combination and looks beautiful. And then you will put it on your serving sheet, on your serving dish. Okay, so make sure that everything is tossed together. All right, let's taste. Very nice. All right, so we will put it on the baking sheet, on a serving dish. Okay, and now let's look at our sesame seeds. What's happening with them? I will clean my hands with my towel, or grab my towel actually and use it kind of as a handle. Okay, so toss it together, and when it's brown, okay, then you will grind it and you will sprinkle it on top. And now let's look at our feta. Okay, so our feta looks lovely, and we will just drizzle some olive oil, and then you will put it on your toast and enjoy it. So I hope that you will try these wonderful recipes and enjoy them during the summer and serve them to your family and to your guests. Thank you for joining me. Support for this program is provided in part by Guido's Fresh Marketplace.